Indigenous community fighting a mine in Palawan wins a milestone legal verdict. Following petitions by indigenous communities in Palawan, the Philippine Supreme Court issued a writ mandating a nickel mining project and associated government agencies respond to the community's environmental concerns. The issuance of the writ is an initial step in legal process. Activists says they hope will result in the permanent suspension of the nickel mine which is operating in a protected area. While the legal process is currently on hold due to a court recess, the National Commission on Indigenous People issued a mine cease and desist order, the same way the day court issued the writ. Palawan, Philippines, in a move celebrated as a victory by an indigenous community that since 2005 has been fighting plans to mine nickel in a protected area. The Philippine Supreme Court issued a verdict mandating the company and government agency involved in the project to address the indigenous concerns about forest destruction.
Na mga small scales ang pinatay.
For its part, Casey Crisostomo, an executive of TVI, maintained that the company has dutifully followed government guidelines in order to operate in the area.
TVI has secured the free, prior, and informed consent of the indigenous Subanen tribe in Bayog.
On August 16, 2023, the Supreme Court announced it had issued a writ of kalikasan against the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, DNR.
Ms. Alexi May Brooks, a Forger Bees Bay marketing management student at INU Manila, seamlessly embodies the life of a student athlete, providing that dedication opens limitless possibilities. An MVP in track and field, she transcends academic and athletic boundaries. Alexi wins as Miss Iloilo in an iconic one. Aside from winning several awards like Best Swimsuit, Best Cultural Costume, and awards from sponsors, the Leon native is also the first black and androgynous woman to represent Iloilo. Alexi said of her win, "I turned childhood dreams into reality." 3 persons dead after a spending jeepney with apparently lost control hit 2 motorcycle in Internet Cavite. The driver affair the lost control of vehicle and hit 2 upcoming motorcycle. Those killed were identified as Staff Sergeant Jerly Nicolas, a member of Philippine Marines, Gregorio Salazar, 54 years old, and his passenger Colonia, 40 years old. The driver said she checked roadworthiness of jeep but said he'd lost brakes. Jeannie Audrey Nicolas, the window of Marines, said that jeep was going so fast. He was just saying that it was an accident, but his video show he was spending. He should not say that it was an accident.
The front lines of record of heat. July in 2003 was the warmest month record going back to 1880, with some scientists saying it's likely the warmest around 125,000 years since the last geological period ended. The combination of climate change and the warmth produced by a newly developing El Nino is naturally occurring warmer period not seen since 2006. Helped supercharge the hottest June, July, and August on record that US, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, and China saw deadly record-shattering heat waves, floods, and drought, while unprecedented wildfire in Canada turned skies orange on North Africa East Coast. Given that many indigenous people live close to the land and depend directly on local resources. They are especially vulnerable to the massive changes now sweeping our planet. Rising temperature, fires, drought, and floods have threatened forests and ecosystem that tribes rely on for hunting, gathering, farming, and logging. The heat is unbearable or almost unbearable, says Hindu, Omaro, Ibrahim, and indigenous activity from the Marlboro people in Chad. During April, temperature was almost 52 degrees Celsius, 125.6 Fahrenheit. All this has an impact on my Mboro people who find themselves with drought and a great lack of water for cattle and humans. Although my researchers and activists consider indigenous people to the earth best and stewards their communities haven't been receiving the funding or resources necessary to adapt to a hotter, drier, stormier, fairy worlds many times. Due to the lack of access to their traditional lands, often inhabiting remote areas from government aid. Communities lack resilient infrastructure to adapt to climate change and have long history of suffering, oppressions, official neglect, and poverty.
Local news. One of the problem arises from our indigenous people is the poor poverty where they suffer from this kind of situation. We are here today at Barangay Lipak, San Enrico, Iloilo in an ATA community. And we are going to see and witness on the life situation of every individual here.
Good morning, world! These are the latest update for our sports news. First ever indigenous people game in Palawan with the tribe group Tagbanwa, Taudbatu, and Cuyunon came together to battle out on traditional games and skills like climbing way up to trees. They also show off their skills in santik or igniting fires using just bamboo and stone. They also ace marksmanship using spears, arrow, and supuk or blow darts.
Mahirap kung walang baro. At ikaw natantag na. Kaya po daw ginanap niya bilang pinapakita niya po, yan po ang hindi po namin naiwan na tradisyon talaga. Noon po hindi pa po illegal yung kiyaw, yan po yung ginaganap. Pero sa ngayon na may batas na po, hindi na po namin ginagawa yung pagkaakyat ng kiyaw.